So what we're going to be doing now is adding the magnets to the areas that need magnets added to them, and also just fixing up the base of the flyer as well. One of the things I really don't like about the Games Workshop flyers is the way the bases connect into the actual models. So this is the what we've got here, and as you can see, they spin around and it's fairly unstable, and often what happens when you go to pick the model up to move it, the base stays there. So what I'm going to do is just fix this up so that it stays in place, and also it's a nice snug fit in there. So firstly, what we're going to do is just get our 1mm drill bit here, and we're just going to make to the front of the access point there a small 1mm hole. So we'll just drill that in now. So what we're basically going to do is create a keyhole, or what looks like a keyhole, just down in here. So we'll just do that. So what you'll end up with is something not too dissimilar to that. And then we'll just get our hobby knife, and this little tiny gap that we've got here that's still held together, we're just going to cut that away. Like so. And we'll take this waste off the back here. We're not going to need it. And we'll just spend a bit of time just fixing this up so that it's nice and smooth. Once we've done that, we should have something which looks a little bit like a old school keyhole right in there. Next, what we're going to do is just get a little bit of this polystyrene rod that we have here, and a little bit of the super glue, and I'm just going to add a little bit to the bottom here, like so. And then I'm going to grab my base and I'm going to attach that rod to it, just like that, as you can see. And just gently hold it in place while it sets. And if you want, you can use a bit of this accelerant, and what you've got there is that attached there. And I'm just going to snip it off so that it's flush with the top of the flying base, so that you have something like that. So once you've attached that on and you've clipped it off, basically what we'll have is just a nice snug fit, just be a nice push fit, and what we'll have is a model which won't rotate on the base, and also, with any luck, you'll also not have to worry about it actually coming off the flying base when you go and move the model. Next thing we're going to do is put the weapon mount onto, magnetize the weapon mount right here. So as you can see, there's like this searchlight, which is just a feature of both weapon systems, and then you've got this weapon mount here. Now we need to put a magnet in there. We're also going to need to put a magnet down in this section here for the weapon to actually mount onto, and obviously we're going to have to put a magnet in the actual nose here. So the first thing we're going to do is I'll just put this magnet in here. Now, as you can see, it's quite a large hole, so what I'm going to use is just this 3mm magnet right here, and with any luck it'll just be a nice snug push fit. So because this is a piece which is actually being attached to the chassis, I'm going to use this one here, as I've already mentioned, and I'm just going to put a bit of super glue down in here, and then I'm just going to gently press this into place. Yeah, it's a nice snug fit. And then I'll just press it down on there to make it nice and flush. And there you have it. That's how that's done. Next, I'm just going to put the magnet into the actual mounting point here. Now, I don't know if you can see this, but the magnet's actually going to have to go in an angle, because if it went in vertically, it's actually going to go through and cause some problems. So it needs to go on a bit of an angle here. So I'm just going to do a pilot hole with my 1mm drill bit first. Now that's been done, I'll then get the 2mm bit and finish off the seat for the magnet. It's really important that you have new drill bits as well when you're doing this sort of thing, so that they're nice and sharp and you don't have any dramas with with it not cutting accurately. Now this one here, because the weapon system's mounting to that, I'm going to use the one with the little bit of tape on there, and I'll just grab my 2mm bit. Got my magnet. I'll just put a little tiny bit of glue around its edge, and again just press the magnet home nice and gently, and that is how that's done. Next thing I want to do is put the magnet in the chassis here. So as you can see, this part fits on like so. So the magnet is going to be needed to be located in the center here. So I'll just make a small pilot hole first. Again, always use pilot holes. Don't just go boring through the model with the drill bit that you need. Do a pilot hole and then get the appropriate size drill bit and finish the job. Just remove all that bit of plastic there. So what we'll do now is we'll just add that magnet in. So again, being this is the chassis of the vehicle, I'll use one with a bit of tape on it. We'll grab our magnet, put a little bit of glue just around the perimeter. It doesn't have to be a lot because it's going to be quite a snug fit, and we'll just press that in like so. So that's been added on there. We'll just do these weapons now. Now again, because of the way these weapons mount on, what we're going to have to do is put the magnet on a slight angle as well, so that way it marries up nicely with the weapon mount there. So I'll get my 1mm bit, and I'll put the pilot hole in on a slight angle, and then I'll grab my 2mm and we'll finish off the seat for the magnet. Being a weapon, we just get the normal applicator, get our magnet, put a bit of glue on there, and press that in like so. And hopefully that'll join up to that nicely, and that'll join up to that nicely, and that will sit in there like so. And that's how it's done basically. What we have here now is this nice weapon mount, which we can completely remove if we don't want to have a nose mounted weapon system. And we've got a base here where the model will stay on it and also won't spin around on there either. There is a little bit of play, but it's certainly nothing to get worried about. So what I want to do now is just press on with the actual gunner's weapon system. So the first thing I want to do is add in a magnet to the center here. Now this region here is actually quite narrow, so we have to be very, very careful when we're actually drilling the hole out. The good thing is, and I don't know if it's entirely obvious, but there's actually quite a large amount of plastic underneath it. So we're not going to drill all the way through it, otherwise we'll probably split it in half. We're just going to drill down deep enough so that we can get a magnet to sit in the base. So we'll drill a small pilot hole, as usual, just to begin with. And then we'll get our 2mm bit and very gently drill that out. Now it is going to go through one edge, but that's not a big problem because we're not going to see it anyway when the weapon's actually sitting in there. This needs to be a bit deeper. Remember it being very, very careful not to drill all the way through it, otherwise you'll wind up with the thing split in half. So we've got that there now. And what we want to do is, being the body, we want to use the appropriate applicator. And again, we just want to then grab this and very gently place that magnet in there. And I'll just use a bit of accelerant on there to get that to set. And there you have it. That's how that's done. Next, we just want to repeat the process, but obviously put the magnet in where the weapon system's to be mounted. And as you can see, that'll then just clip on there. So when we want to swap a weapon system, be a very, very simple process. And the weapon will just mount on that rail that the weapon rotates on or pivots on, nice and snugly there. So that's all good, we're set.